Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 23rd chapter, text number 7. Ye me swadharma niratasya tapas samadhi vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada taneva te madanu sevanaya varuddhan drishtim prapashya vitaramya bhayan ashokan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Kardama Muni continued, I have achieved the blessings of the Lord in discharging my own religious life of austerity, meditation and Krishna consciousness. Although you have not yet experienced these achievements, which are free from fear and lamentation, I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. Now, just look at them. I am giving you the transcendental vision to see how nice they are. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Devahuti engaged only in the service of Kardama Muni. She was not supposed to be so advanced in austerity, ecstasy, meditation or Krishna consciousness, but imperceptibly she was sharing her husband's achievements which she could neither see nor experience. Automatically she achieved these graces of the Lord. What are the graces of the Lord? It is stated here that the graces of the Lord are abhaya, free from fearfulness. In the material world, if someone accumulates $1 million, he is always full of fear because he is always thinking, what if the money is lost? But the benediction of the Lord, Bhagavat Prasada, is never to be lost. It is simply to be enjoyed. There is no question of loss. One simply gains and enjoys gaining. Bhagavad Gita also confirms this. When one achieves the grace of the Lord, the result is that sarva dukkhani, all distresses are destroyed. When situated in the transcendental position, one is freed from the two kinds of material diseases, hankering and lamentation. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. After devotional life begins, we can achieve the full result of love of Godhead. Love of Krishna is the highest perfection of Bhagavat Prasada or divine mercy. This transcendental achievement is so greatly valuable that no material happiness can compare to it. Prabodhananda Saraswati said that if one achieves the grace of Lord Chaitanya, he becomes so great that he does not care a fig even for the demigods. He thinks of monism as hellish, and for him, the perfection of controlling the senses is as easy as anything. Heavenly pleasures become to him no more than stories. Actually, there is no comparison between material happiness and transcendental happiness. By the grace of Kardama Muni, Devahuti experienced actual realization simply by serving. We get a similar example in the life of Narada Muni. In his previous life, Narada was a maidservant's son, but his mother was engaged in the service of great devotees. He got the opportunity to serve the devotees, and simply by eating the remnants of their foodstuff and carrying out their orders, he became so elevated that in his next life he became the great personality Narada. For spiritual achievement, the easiest path is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and to serve him with heart and soul. That is the secret of success. As stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura in his 8 stanzas of prayer to the spiritual master, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasadaha. By serving or receiving the grace of the spiritual master, one receives the grace of the Supreme Lord. By serving her devotee husband, Kardama Muni, Devahuti shared in his achievements. Similarly, a sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all the mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
Thus, Kardama Muni was very pleased by the service of Devahuti. She engaged in sincere service of Kardama Muni, even at the cost of her own bodily sense pleasures and health even. And Kardama Muni was very much pleased by seeing her devotional mood, her service mood, with which she was trying to please Kardama Muni. Now Kardama Muni says, I have achieved the blessings of the Lord in discharging my own religious life of austerity, meditation, Krishna consciousness. And although you have not experienced, what is that result of that? Free from fear and lamentation. I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. Now just look at them. I am giving you the transcendental vision to see how nice they are. So, Kardama Muni, he is giving all his mercy to Devahuti, and Devahuti is able to experience transcendental opulence of fearlessness and lamentation, or freedom from hankering and lamentation, which is achieved by Kardama Muni due to his austerity, meditation and Krishna consciousness. So this is the way is one of the ways by which one can very easily, as Prabhupada says, very easily achieve advancement in spiritual life is by serving a pure devotee, serving a Vaishnava. One gets mercy of the Lord. The Lord is very pleased. The Lord is very pleased because He sees the serving mood of the devotee. The mood of devotional service, the mood of servitude is very much appreciated by the Supreme Lord. Whenever a devotee is engaging in devotion service with a service mood of surrender, then the Lord in the heart is very much pleased with such a disposition of the devotee. The attitude of servitude is very much sought after by the Lord, because that is the original position where the living entity can become free from this material entanglement of lording. Material world is a world where we are all conditioned and diseased by this lording tendency. We want to lord over everything. In other words, we want to, as we discussed yesterday, our mind is all fruitive. Fruitive means do something and get the fruit for oneself. That is called lust. So we are ruled by the three modes of material nature, one way or the other, whether it is Sattva-guna, Raja-guna or Tama-guna, are all characterized by this particular attitude of lust. So therefore, as soon as a living entity learns how to be servant, and especially if it's so servant of good fortune, if that living entity who is engaged in that servitude is serving a pure devotee of the Lord, then one gets Yasya Prasadat, Bhagavat Prasadat, Yasya Prasadat Nagati Kutopi. So one advances in spiritual life by getting the mercy of the spiritual master. Just see what all Devahuti did. And this is what we'll also have to do to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Devahuti was helping Kardama Muni in his transcendental activities. Similarly, we have to help Srila Prabhupada in his transcendental activities. His transcendental activities is to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. His transcendental activity is, or his transcendental mission is to serve the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Prabhupada's mission is very clear. There is no doubt about it. What could be Prabhupada's mission? No, there is no doubt. Prabhupada wants to give Krishna consciousness, wants everybody to chant Hare Krishna, wants this prasadam to be distributed, wants his books to be distributed, wants to make devotees chant Hare Krishna and make advancement and become pure devotees. This is clearly the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So in every possible way, if we also take up that mission in our heart as a mission of my Guru, not as one's own mission, as a mission of my Guru, then everything that you're doing is for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. And then by Prabhupada's mercy, transcendental mercy, when the super soul sees that this devotee is situated properly as a servant of my servant, not as an upstart, but as a servant of the servant, then he will see then the Supreme Lord, in a moment, He glances on us mercifully, and all our spiritual desires are fulfilled. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasadat. So this is the path that we are treading for advancing in Krishna consciousness. As I said yesterday, the role of austerity and these things are not very, are required to minimal, but what largely is required is to synchronize our mind with the mind of the spiritual master. That is the biggest contribution of our success. Austerity, I said, as a principle in the human life, in human body, we have to keep always some austerity. So little austerity always we used to keep so that we don't go into comfort zone. We don't have to do the kind of austerity that Devahuti did in terms of completely neglecting her health and everything. We cannot imitate an advanced soul. So therefore Prabhupada has given us very nice, comfortable life, practically. At the same time, he always warned us, spiritual life means austerity. If there is some austerity, the mind will always learn how to tolerate difficulties. If the human being does not have the quality of tolerance, then he can never control his senses. The prerequisite to control the senses is first to tolerate. If you cannot tolerate, then you will succumb to sense gratification. The quality of tolerance is very important, and therefore that austerity is also very important. To tolerate, because if you have to maintain austerity, then you have to be very tolerant. If you are not tolerant, you will not maintain austerity. That austerity yesterday I explained very little austerity. In every eating, sleeping, mating, defending, so many things. So many likes, so many dislikes we have in our minds. So all that thing, you don't go and satisfy exactly. You satisfy little less. To keep, don't deprive it to the extent to which your service is disturbed. But at the same time, don't fully satisfy it. Of course, the injunction is very clear, don't over-satisfy it. So the paradigm of over-satisfying our needs is also not good. Just satisfying is a very another paradigm which is second best. And the third best is to always keep little deficit, so that your mind is always alert. There is something to learn tolerance. Gave example of hard work, how much you do. Always see that you work little harder for Prabhupada. So here, transcendental opulence. What is the gift that one gets from the spiritual master? Jnana and Vairagya and Bhakti. These are the things that you get from the spiritual master. And when the devotee is very sincerely serving the spiritual master, with bhakti for spiritual master, then Paramatma in the heart gives Jnana and Vairagya. Because it has to shine in our heart. Transcendental knowledge and Vairagya, detachment, which is a consequence of transcendental knowledge. Without the mercy of the spiritual master, one cannot understand, one cannot live a life of, I am not this body, and the body is only an instrument. We have to move from bodily concept of life to concept of bodily instrument. Instrument concept of life. Because body is there. Just like you think you are the car. There's car concept of life. But if you are driving the car, thinking that the car is a machine that is very useful for me, then that is called normal consciousness or instrument concept of life. Car is an instrument. I'll get into one car, I'll get into another car, another car, another car. Doesn't matter. But I am not the car. So to go from bodily concept of life into instrument concept of body, one needs the mercy of the spiritual master in the form of enlightenment, transcendental enlightenment, transcendental clarity, clarity in our consciousness, who I am. And if one, unless one transcends this bodily concept of life, he cannot not feel lamentation and hankering. One should not misunderstand here. Let's see the statement here Prabhupada says. In the material world, if someone accumulates $1 million, he is always full of fear because he is always thinking, what if the money is lost? But the benediction of the Lord, Bhagavat Prasada, is never to be lost. It is simply to be enjoyed. There is no question of loss. Now one should not think that devotee will never lose money. The benediction of the Bhagavat Prasada, of the Lord Bhagavat Prasada, is never to be lost. It is simply to be enjoyed. There is no question of loss. One simply gains and enjoys gaining. Now one should not think that one simply gains getting money and keeps on enjoying getting more money. Because what is that gain is a point. Bhagavad Gita also confirms this. When one achieves the grace of the Lord, the result is sarva dukkhani, all distresses are destroyed. Again, one should not think that if I get the mercy of the Lord, all my material problems are solved. I have a distress of a disease will vanish. Then what is being said here next? When situated in the transcendental platform, position, one is freed from two kinds of material disease, hankering and lamentation. These opulences are enjoyed by the consciousness of the living entity because of detachment transcending from these things. If he has a disease, he has transcended the disease. He does not think I am diseased. He thinks the body may be diseased. Body is diseased. I am not diseased. There's a big difference. If a pen doesn't write, you don't feel eternal distress. You buy another pen. Your writing ability is still there. If your pen is gone, along with that my writing ability is gone. Why? Because you are thinking, I am the pen. So this freedom from lamentation and hankering can be experienced only when we realize our nature as Brahma Bhuta, not the Sharira. Sharira concept of life. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. That means our consciousness, our identification should be with Brahman. Our identification which should be the substance, living substance. As amshas of Paramatma. Of the same quality as God. I am not the quality of this matter. I am not the quality of this body. So, the opulence of feeling always you are gaining and gaining and gaining is not of any material thing, but it is a feeling of going on gaining detachment and transcendental knowledge. Gaining clarity and clarity and clarity. The devotee is always ever fresh because the Lord in the heart is continuing to reveal to him so many things. And he is serving the spiritual master. He is transcending the three modes of material nature by virtue of his consciousness, by virtue of his new identification with Brahman, by virtue of his identification with spirit, by virtue of his identification with spiritual desiring. Spiritual identification, I am servant of Krishna. Spiritual desire, spiritual purpose, spiritual intention. Everything is transformed into spiritual. With Guru and Krishna as a center, they are the personalities to whom you intend everything, for every purpose of your existence is for them. Every goal that you have, every milestone that you have in your life, everything is meant for spiritual master. So all your soul faculties are completely directed to pleasing the Guru and Krishna. What does that mean? What does that result in? Our ability, our faculty all becomes purified. We become purified. That is the purpose of devotional service, to become purified and situate ourselves in our purified state of service to the Lord. So this is so exciting. One simply gains and enjoys gaining. We are Sat, Chit and Ananda. By nature we enjoy pure Chit. By nature we enjoy Ananda of devotional service. By nature we enjoy identifying ourselves as Amshas of God. So when these three kinds of enjoyment is your target enjoyment, is to relish these things. It is your Surupa Ananda. It is your natural Ananda. So that natural Ananda is simply you gain and enjoy gaining. You keep getting more. Anandam abuddhi vardhanam. It is a ever expanding happiness. Sat, Chit and Ananda. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. After devotional service begins, we can achieve the full result of love of God. And also when the devotee, when he does not have his drishti into this material world to achieve anything for his body, not only for his body, there are two things. We have two concepts of life. Bodily concept of life, and then that is an extended bodily concept of life, is to see everybody else as body and feel that I am a member of this society consisting of bodily concepts of life. It's a concept society. There is no real society like that. I am the body, I am thinking. You are thinking, I am this body. He is thinking he is body. Everybody is thinking everybody else is their body. So what everybody is living? Everybody is living a bodily concept of life. And everybody is relating each other with the bodily concept of life. Which means I am a member of this bodily concept. So Maya Devi creates a concept world. You are this, none of us are this. And then we all believe we are this, and then we interact socially together. So there is a social concept, social extension. There is a social concept, a bodily concept of life. That social extension of bodily concept of life is what wants name, fame, adoration, distinction. These are the senses. So when we say simply don't enjoy bodily concept of life, means if I am the body, I want to enjoy my bodily senses. If you think you're part of this world, I am part of this material world, then you want name, fame, everything in this material world. When we understand that no, I am part of a transcendental world, I am part of the world of Prabhupada, I am part of the world of the deities, I am part of the world of the previous acharyas, I am part of the world of the transcendental, the unlimited expansions of the deities, unlimited expansions on this earth. These are all my personalities. My world consists of these personalities. The deities. Deity manifestation, Archa Vigraham, Archa manifestation, incarnation of the Lord everywhere. Like this. That also we discussed yesterday. Our Radha Krishna Chandra, our Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Because he's got so much Advaitam, Achyudam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. Among that, 1, 2, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Damodar, a few, they're very personal. They're for you, for us. So we are in that social world. What is our social world? True concept of life is there. Here, duplicate concept of life, bodily concept of life. There, they're all true personalities. Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, 6 Goswamis, they're all true personalities. So we are a member of that society. I am a member of that society. I am not a member of this worldly society of bodily concept of life. So when I say I am not a member of this concept, I have no interest in here. What is the use? Some people will glorify you, next day they will throw you. Even if they don't throw you, then you will go away and you are not there to enjoy that. Whole of India is telling Mahatma Gandhi is father of the nation, father of the nation. He is not there to enjoy father of nations. He is gone somewhere. He was a member of the Indian society, Indian bodily societies that existed during the independence era time. None of those bodily concepts, personalities are existing now. All are vanished. All this Tilak, that was this man, that Rajendra Prasad, all of them vanished. Where are they? They were all bodily concepts. And he was a member of that bodily concept. Now they wrote down that he is so and so, so and so, and the new bodily concept society came. Now we are the latest generation of bodily concept, what India means. Narendra Modi, this bodily concept. You see after a few years, after 20 years, no Narendra Modi. 20, 30 years, whatever it is. Everybody becomes old, everybody dies. So what is the use of name and fame in this society? Why don't I get recognition from a smile from Srila Prabhupada? Yeah, we need. We beg for the mercy. We don't beg for the mercy from Guru Maharaj. Gurudev, please make me famous in this world. Make me an important devotee among the Vaishnavas. You don't even have such a desire. What is the use? Let me get the glance of Guru and Krishna. Let me engage in devotion service where they are pleased with my devotional mood. And that is my eternal asset. That is what I seek. I seek recognition, not social recognition. In the heart of Krishna should recognize me. Heart of Prabhupada should recognize me. Not that Prabhupada should recognize me in the eyes of the society. I did devotion service. I know what I am doing. I'll sincerely try to serve, and I want to please Srila Prabhupada's heart. So that is Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasadat. And the spiritual master is always wanting pure devotion service. As soon as you have that attitude, he will catch it like this. And Prabhupada gives the example of how Narada Muni also, simply by carrying out the orders and taking prasadam of the devotees, Mahajanas, great devotees, Mahatmas, he got all advancement in spiritual life. All advancement. One should understand that we are not advancing here by the Jnanic path. Jnanic path is becoming a very, struggling to become a very knowledgeable person. We have to be a knowledgeable person, but we should not struggle to become a knowledgeable person. We should struggle to become a servant of the spiritual master, and we will become a knowledgeable person. We will automatically become knowledgeable person by kripa, by the mercy of the spiritual master. Similarly, a sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. Any questions? जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.